Well, hey, everyone. It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you're at work, in the car, wherever you are, we hope you enjoy the show. Please give a like and subscribe on iTunes, Stitcher, Pocket Casts. I don't know. Check around. There's a lot of places. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for the music and we had them on a couple of weeks ago. It was really cool having on Steve Weeks. So thank you so much. And our featured patrons, Casamaya, Master Sergeant, USMC, Little Gears, Albedo, 0.39, It's Only Barney, Purple Tours 3, ACDC Family, None of It Tidy, Josh Boggs, Carrot Killer, and our new patrons, Chihuahua Jill. I still love that one. That's awesome. Cam Majestic 2011, R&M Cashers, and Cal Running. So big thanks to them for joining patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, head on over to patreon.com/geocache talk for more details. Patrons get the new blackout coins. Blackout coin. Boom. There we go. Yep. Jesse's got his. Memphis, since we have another Jesse on tonight for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. I'll call you Memphis for a little while. And other geocaching items during the year, as well as bonus content and invites to special events. And I'm about to mention a special event here in a second. Support levels start as little as Bison Tube level, which is $3 a month. Well, let me welcome my co-host to this very busy night tonight, Jesse, a.k.a. Memphis Mafia.
Oh, okay. Me, this Jesse. I didn't know if I got to keep my name for this part or not.
You can.
Okay. I get to keep it for a few minutes.
For a few minutes, we're going to call you Memphis for a while. And we'll explain why in a minute. But let's jump right into show 136 for February 17th. As we welcome to the show President, CEO, Grand Poobah of the Texas Geocaching Association, Tom Brotherman, Electric Water Boy.
Howdy.
D, the better half of Team D&D. D.
Howdy.
Pathfinder 33, Charles Watkins.
Howdy, y'all.
And another special guest for us, Jesse Tuttle.
Hello, everyone.
Hey. We're going to get back to Jesse here in 1 second. I do want to mention real quickly off the top of that, we always talk about special events, Memphis, don't we, about special events for patrons. We've done like GC World.
Yeah.
Games. We're going to do something special. If you're a patron and you happen to be going to Geo Woodstock this year, woohoo! Yep. We'll talk a little bit about Geo Woodstock in a little bit.
Everybody should be if they can.
Exactly. Yeah. We're going to have a dinner. We have our first patron. I think it's going to be our first patron dinner, right, Jesse?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
First one officially. We've had little private stuff with some of the some of the podcasters, but this year something different. We're going to do a patron dinner. So obviously, if you're a patron, you've already heard about it. But if you'd like to become a patron, I'll let you know what it is. So that's it. That's all I can tell you. It's sometime during Woodstock week, and we've got Memphis. We've already got like 18 or 20 people, and I checked on our venue for our dinner, and they said no problem, more the merrier. If you have 30 people, we're still good. So I'm like, awesome.
Sweet.
So that's not always, as if some of y'all, D kind of knows this for sure. When you plan reservations at places, sometimes they don't give you that kind of option. They're like, you get 12 and that's it. If you go over 12, you're on your own. Well,
that's what you get for calling ahead. I just show up. Just show up with like 50, 60, 70 people. It's more fun that way. Surprise.
Oh, yeah.
I need a table for 73, please.
Or maybe the manager says great and forgets to tell the help.
Oh, that happened.
That does happen.
That happens. That
was tonight? So. Yeah, man, that was tonight.
I will, like you said, I will remind them. I will call and probably talk to a manager a week or so before and say, hey, I'm just letting you know we've had, are we still cool for 25 or whatever we end up with? So that'll be fun. All right. So that's that. So without further ado, I'm to sort of turn this over a little bit to our new sponsor. So, Mr. Tuttle, join right in. I kind of guess blew the news that you're a new sponsor, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we wanted to come on board, and we've talked to Gary and Jesse quite a few times over the past, I don't even know how long. You interviewed us as part of Woodstock, I think even part of Moga, who knows? But you know, we do a lot of coin production. We make lanyards. We build websites for mega events. We do tons of craziness, and we've wanted to just help back and support you all in what your mission is, and find ways to empower your patrons even further. So, you know, I didn't even realize you were doing a patron dinner. So I just looked at Amber and Laura and got a thumbs up. We're going to make a special giveaway item for every patron that attends your dinner.
Hey, that's
awesome.
So just because you're a patron of Geocache Talk and you're going to Woodstock, you just got, I don't know if it'll be trackable or not, but it'll be a keychain, it'll be a lanyard, it'll be something.
Cool. That's awesome.
Very cool. Just more stuff.
Thank you so much. I know, it's awesome. Yeah, we've got we are very excited. We met I guess about a week or so ago. So we've been really sitting on this info. Memphis and I have been sitting on this going, we need a good spot for this. And we figured tonight's a good night because speaking of coins, we are going to get to show a couple coins here in a little bit, which D approved that we could do, or D and Tom both, I guess, approved. Tom, I don't know if he approved it or not. Yeah, he did. I'm kidding.
I'm a smart man. If D says yes, so do I.
That's right. He was told he approved it.
It was ultimately approved.
That's awesome. Yeah, but yeah. So we've been excited about this whole possibility, and so it finally came sort of to fruition. We've had some meetings, and we're very excited about everything that Mr. Tuttle is doing, and the involvement we're going to have. So we do want to mention a couple things. One thing, if everybody kind of remembers or thinks back, I guess, to last year, we had Jesse was on the show, and we talked about Gigastock. I loved calling it Gigastock, and it was a lot of fun. In fact, it kind of caught on. I heard some of the other shows kept referring to it as Gigastock, and that was a
did that start on this show?
Yeah, we're the ones that came up with the idea of Gigastock. So
I've heard it so many places.
I'm sure somebody else thought of it too. So I'm not gonna, but
I don't know about that.
Yeah, but and I think we've mentioned this, or I don't know if I know I've mentioned to you, but I want to mention this on the show. You did a great job, and hats off to you and your team to pull off that. I thought it went incredibly well. I know when you have, I don't know, what do you think the final total was, Jesse?
We have no clue. We know that the venue, as you know, we had an amusement park. We were pretty much the only people there. The venue had extra staff counting the people in the cars at our entrance. We had our own dedicated entrance there. And at noon, when they relieved those staff, they counted 12,000 heads.
Wow.
Entering.
Incredible.
At noon, there was still also a line backed up all the way out of the amusement park down the road onto the expressway and into the state of Kentucky.
No way. That's incredible. But to pull off something of that magnitude, volunteer-wise, it was incredible. So, we're excited about, like you said, you're bringing so much great experience to the team. Mega host, Giga host. You've hosted several other things. Moga. You're involved in that for a number of years. We had a great time.
Just under 2 months.
2 months, right? It's in St. Louis this year. Did I get it right? St. Louis, okay. But
we're donating all their award medals to them.
Oh, cool, very cool. Yeah, and that's again, we're just kind of scratching the surface. We'll have you back on, and we'll talk more about other things. But we wanted to really introduce introduce you to the podcast and to let people know that there's great things ahead. And tonight we're actually going to show a couple of the involvement that you have, even at the level of this year with these other two megas. So without further ado, can you show us an exclusive showing of where we're going to start? D, we want to start with the challenge coin.
Yeah.
Okay.
The coin and then the award coin at challenge. He's got both.
Okay. Show one of those two, whichever one. I love that. That's an awesome coin.
Back it up just a little bit.
And that there Keith, you said Keith Petrus came up with the design for that thing. It is awesome.
Yes. He designed it and he did a great job. I love it. I have the path tags here. He did the path tags as well, but those coins are leaving Jesse's hands tomorrow and coming to mine. So I'm excited.
Right. And then now this one, which one is this one, D?
These are the individual team competition individual competition award coins. If you take first place in the individual competition, this is the coin that you'll get.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Awesome. That is awesome.
So,
yeah, that is awesome. Thanks, Jesse.
We appreciate AFK, and I know Amber did a few things on it, and they threw up some ideas for the award coin, and they're the ones that came up with the antiquing on that silver, and it looks fantastic.
Yeah. So great team that Jesse has there with Amber, and I don't know, you got a great team over there.
Yeah. So Amber and Laura works on most every project that we do, but depending on what we do, we have other people like. We built the Woodstock site. We built the GPS Maze site, Geocoin Fest Europe, and a ton of others. And so we have another guy on our team named Samuel in Sweden. A lot of you met him at Woodstock. He flies in for Woodstock. He'll fly in this year again. So yeah, there's no shortage of help, thankfully.
That's awesome. And we do want to mention before you go, for people can go out to, you've got a new site that's coming up, gctrackables.com. Tell us a little bit about gctrackables.com.
GC Trackables is a site that it's been in works for, 3 years now. It's a massive undertaking, but it's great because think of Project GC, but for trackables. We have Project GC that crunches tons of stats on geocaches. You can do whatever you need to with geocaches there. But when it comes to trackables, there's not much offered there. So, there's going to be custom mapping features. So, let's say Memphis makes his own geocoin, a flat Memphis coin that goes out to hit all the mega events and gigas that he doesn't attend.
Right. For all the ones he doesn't attend, I like the way you put
some
that.
things never die.
So, he will be able to see where all these trackables are from logging in and seeing one location. A lot like, we'll say some of those, I think it was already said, so path tags and X tags.
Path tags.
Tracking. The tracking features, the custom map, the trade, the looking for, and you could actually wish list different trackables, versions of coins, and then as people flag them as they have them available, the site can auto match them, can pair you up, get trades ready, things like that. Just a whole personalized experience for trackables.
Awesome.
Which, by the way, when we move out of our alpha into more of a closed beta, but with more people, we will also give you an invite to send out to all your patrons so they can go check it out.
Oh, perfect. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
I'm just making notes so I don't forget the promises here.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. We need Scott Miller or somebody here to tell you all the stuff you've done. So
he's in chat. You'll remind me, I'm sure.
He'll remind you. All right. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jesse, for coming on tonight for a few minutes. We're looking forward to everything in the future. We're very excited. And again, thank you for popping on and letting people know that that we're off and running. I really appreciate that.
Sounds good. Talk to you all later.
Thanks, Jesse. Bye-bye.
Bye, Jesse. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yep, definitely.
There you go. All right. Let's get this there. Now that we've got some cool stuff shown there, we're going to jump over to the show, I guess. Let's get started on that. Well, I think we're going to eventually talk about a lot of things tonight, but we're going to start with the 17th annual Texas Challenge and Festival. Did I get that right, Tom?
Close enough.
Close enough. Close enough. Well, it is called, and D can help me out. 17th annual. It's the Texas Challenge and Festival.
And Geocaching Festival.
Geocaching Festival. Okay. Yeah, it's on my shirt, isn't it? Yep. This is last year's shirt, which we love. It was cool. That was the Denton one.
Go Denton.
That was a great shirt, D, by the way. I love that shirt.
Thank you. So,
I like wearing that one. But it's something we talk about every year, but it's always worth mentioning to people is that they hear challenge and they're like, I don't want to be in a challenge. I don't want to go to this event because it's for challenge people. I don't want to go to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we added in Geocaching Festival to it. And that's because, it's not, you don't have to compete in challenge. I haven't competed in challenge in 8 years. 2011, I think, was the last year I played. Right. And part of that is because of my involvement. But, you can come. You don't have to run for those 4 hours. I can tell you that playing is a whole lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I know people love it.
You'll do things like I am not an outdoors girl. Like I love geocaching, but I don't like nature on me. And I was jumping streams and sticking my hand down holes I normally wouldn't. And that's kind of what hooked me on challenge back in 2008. So, but if you don't like that, there's lab caches. There's all kinds of caches in the city. There's geo art. I mean, there's so much to do that you don't have to play for those 4 hours. You can do what you want to do. And then also enjoy the vendors and all of the other side events that are going on. So,
yeah, Memphis did last year. You did both. The day of, we'll kind of work our way backward actually. So, the day of is really cool. Now, last year was the first year you competed, right, Jesse? Memphis?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've got a little lag on my computer here, so I'm a couple seconds behind.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
But can you hear me?
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah, I'm losing you here. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay, he'll be back. Anyway, yeah, last year was the first year he did both, which is kind of cool because we've talked about it, and he got to experience sort of both, which is kind of cool. But so Charles, have you've been how many of these events? How many Texas challenges how many have you been to, do you think?
All of them that have been megas. So the first Texas challenge that I went to was the mega in North Texas.
Wow.
At Ray Roberts.
What year was that?
2012.
Yeah.
2012. Okay, wow. That's
the
awesome.
year it rained.
Yeah, the year we had the giant circuit tent. I did miss the one in Tyler. There were some work conflicts and I couldn't get to it. But aside from the one in Tyler, I have been to every Texas challenge since 2012.
Wow, that is awesome. Yeah. So Memphis is back with us. We were able to go to the Tyler one, which we really we had a lot of fun. And so Memphis, talk a little bit about last year. You got to do both. You got to do because we didn't do Tyler. We enjoyed Tyler. We didn't do the challenge part.
No, we didn't do the challenge that year.
Last year though, you got to do both. So talk a little bit about your experience of the challenge and encourage, I guess, people to maybe who might want to do it, but they don't know what they're going to get into, and they kind of want to hear somebody kind of reassure them that they're.
Well, last year we had the group challenge busted up into the different areas, and then also the individual. Is the individual happening again this year?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish I'd have gotten to done that one too. That looked really cool. But I'll look at that. Hold up an award there.
Ooh, look
nice.
at that.
I think
That's awesome.
For people, I think it was good for everybody, right? Because you're gonna have different groups, so it's driving all around the area. And at least the one I haven't been to as many as like Charles has been to or whatever, or some of the other ones have, but there was enough for everybody. Like there was tree climbs that were you could do it. So any skill level that you're at, you can still go and have fun, and you're going to be teamed up with people that you may never have met before, but you'll know them very well by the end of the day because you're crammed in cars together, not speeding, legally driving all over town. Sports, right? I think in Texas, if you speed, they just shoot you on the side of the road. Is that how that? No, it's just a ticket. Okay. I wasn't sure if they'd changed that since last year. But no, it was great. I mean, and even we were in that town we were in, and there was tons of cachers out doing everything, and there was no issues from it. And it was a lot of fun, and you just see people zooming all over town. It's like the FTF race, but all day long. It was pretty fun. And I'm kind of a fan of competition anyway, but even if you're not, I mean, I think there's something for everybody, and it doesn't cost anything extra, right?
Nope.
And nobody's going to get beaten if they lose. So just go for it. It's a lot of fun. I think if I was down there again this year, I would that'd be the first thing I'd sign up for is on the out-of-state team again.
Yeah. So let's talk, because some people we have new people on all the time, and some people probably aren't familiar with a couple of things. I do want to back up. Let me back up a second before we kind of then move forward. One is, it's the 17th annual, and I think that gets lost in the people just sort of gloss over it, but 17 years. So correct me, Dee and Tom, if I'm wrong, but this is the longest running event, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Okay. Because, that's other than Geo Woodstock, but then Geo Woodstock came out the same year as the Texas Challenge, but yet it was probably later. So really Texas Challenge was before it. So
right. It was us, then Moga, then Woodstock. So that's kind of how Moga started from us. They came and saw how we did it. They changed it to do it more of the individual format. And then, of course, last year we went to Moga, and we kind of took back from them, and that's where we came up with our individual competition from.
Right, because this will be the second year to do the individual.
Correct.
Now, the team thing is, I think, is fascinating, and there's, again, if you're out of town, like Jesse, old Memphis, you can be on an out of town team. So how many years do you think we've had out of town teams, Tom? Do you think
3 or 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, before, if you're out of town, you could just sort of get invited to become part of another. You could be adopted, I guess, in a sense.
Yes.
You join one of the regional teams.
Yeah, you could still do that. Let's say you've got an aunt or an uncle or a best friend, or you're Charles and Laura, and you're good friends with Dee and David. You say, hey, come play for North Texas. And they say, okay, so you can choose to either play with the region or play with out of state. It's just whatever you want to do. I mean, you could live in North Texas, but feel like you're more affiliated with South Texas and play on the South Texas team. You're not pigeonholed to where you have to play for. You just kind of declare what you're going to be, and that's who you are. So. Okay,
cool. Yeah. So, because like Charles, I
was the team captain for the East Texas team. We had a large amount of people come in from out of state, and we were right on the cusp of having enough people to be a team. And so we adopted all of these people from Arkansas who came in, and we're like, hey, jump in our vehicles. We'll take you for a ride. We'll show you how it's done. And we adopted them, pulled them all in, and it took us from having like 9 people on our team, 10 people on our team, to having like 19 people on our team. And then it ended up getting us a second place trophy, the silver ammo can that year. And so it was really cool. And like everybody in Texas, we're friendly, come down. If you don't want to be in the out of state team, hey, pick a region, show up, say, hey, I'm part of y'all's team. Trust me, they will love you and pull you in like you're one of their own, take you for a ride, and then get you some barbecue after we're done.
Perfect. Yeah, because Tom, I don't know how'd you get roped into doing out of state team? Did you just kind of decide
I didn't get roped? I volunteered to do it. I thought it would be cool because you can get these people come in from out of state. They don't have a car if they didn't drive in, and they don't know anything about the area and really what's going on. So I thought, help them out. It'll be fun.
That's awesome.
It was a good team too. The out of state team was a good team last year. I'm just going to throw that out there. Not that I'm biased.
Not that you're biased. Of course not. But yeah, so it's kind of neat. We've had Carrot Killer and Lady Black Cat new to Texas, and we're going to talk about them here in a little bit because we're going to talk about the challenge, the county challenges here in a little bit. But I asked them because they're kind of in the central area, but they really feel like they wanted to compete with Southeast, so that's fine.
He grew up just outside of Houston.
Yeah, so that makes it perfect. And so last year's winner, for the first time in a while, was Southeast. So so correct me if I'm wrong. So there's East Texas as a team, East, Southeast, South, Central, West, North, and out of state.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
And for about 25, 30 years, North won, right, Steve?
We won 5 in a row. But of the 17, North Texas has won a majority of them.
They've won a bunch.
Southeast Texas came to our stomping grounds last year and took it. Yes.
I know, which is great. That's kind of cool. I mean, I'm always on the out. I was on the outside.
If you go back and look statistically, the year that North Texas hosts the event, they don't win first place. And so that's how they won the other 5 in a row, because they weren't hosting it. So their A-game players got to play, whereas if they were on the Hyde team or if you were part of this,
oh, right, you can't
get to play. Right.
Spoken like a guy who never plays for North Texas.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Charles.
But I've played on 3 different teams, right? So I've played on the out-of-state team. I have played in the East Texas team and was a big push to get East Texas get listed as a region the first year that East Texas was a team. And we came in 3rd place that year. And I've played for North Texas. So I've kind of floated around for a little bit, and it's all good fun. But it definitely shows you different ways of playing the game, when you're involved in some of these different teams and their strategy meetings for stuff. And so it's, it's a good time had by all,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it is a competition.
Yeah. And it's fun, even if you're not going to compete, but you need to come to the morning event to watch the teams get ready to go out. And so it's fun because up until during the week, if you come to this, you need to come at least by Thursday. We'll talk about all the events that lead up to the mega. But the morning of, it's a little more serious. It gets a little more serious because
we were all friends until that morning.
We're all friends.
The battle lines are drawn. They're definitely you get your little groups. You can tell. Okay, there's North Texas. Okay, there's South Texas. Yeah, right. You can definitely see where the battle lines are drawn.
Well, remember in Tyler. So Memphis and I we're walking around. We're catching some people during the week. We're doing some audio interviews and all that. And everybody's real like, oh yeah, I've got time. We'll talk for a little bit. And then the morning of, Memphis and I are walking around, and people are like looking at us like, you're not wearing a black shirt. I got no time to talk to you now.
nobody got time for that.
Nobody got to. Now, I'll take that back a little bit. So I did talk to Rugels, and I talked to different people in the North Texas that I know, but just briefly because they didn't really want to spend a lot of time. They wanted to get back into their huddle. They have their little huddles.
They were getting serious. It was serious time.
Serious. And I'll never forget, we had on the out-of-state team, you guys had the gal from GCHQ.
Pony Stream.
Pony Stream, yeah. So, and she's real, she was real fun and easygoing, but she kind of she got when the huddles start, she got serious. I mean, it was fun hearing her and kind of watching from the outside as it starts to got serious, and so it's fun to observe all that. So
I know I'll get an A out of the chat room, but she ran 2 old fat guys to death.
It's funny.
Well, it's awesome. Funny when lackeys come, they're either one or the other. In 2013, we had Adela Bella come down that's when we were on the beach in Port Aransas, and I escorted her around. And down there, they're all on golf carts. So we had a golf cart, and we went around, and she was super laid back. And, she did some of the activity caches, but we didn't actually participate. And she was really low key. And then we've had some come that are like, get out of my way. We're going to do this.
That's right.
It's like one or the other comes from HQ. It's kind of fun.
The hardcore.
Yes.
All right. So let's kind of go through some of the events, and then we're going to spend some time talking about county challenges, because I know people want to hear more about that, and we have an event for county challenges. Let's start with the first event on our list here is a night at the Palace. So either Dee or Tom, could you kind of explain about what the night at the Palace is going to be?
This is a North Texas's fault thing, because I'm pretty sure they started the Thursday night event stuff too.
Right.
The challenge used to be just Friday through Sunday, and then somebody it was the event at the pizza place, wasn't it? It was I got the challenge early.
It was at the Tomato that sat. That's another one of those. I went in and said, hey, listen, maybe 20 people are going to show up for this thing. Oh, yeah, no problem. That's great. 132.
132 showed up.
3 hours, they were just making pizzas, and all the geocachers crammed in and filled the street, and we all just hung out. And she's like, y'all are the nicest people. You didn't get it took 40 minutes for pizza. We're like, oh, yeah, we're fine. So
yeah, that was a really fun event.
That was awesome.
What year was that, Dee?
2012.
2012. Oh, that was the 2012 one. Okay.
Yes, that was the rainy one that nobody will let me live down.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. If you have a drought in your area, just have Dee plant a mega.
So, and that's something I didn't mention at the beginning. This is in Seguin, Texas, east of San Antonio, in case you're wondering where Seguin is. And it starts that day, which is the 7th, is a Thursday. Yeah.
Thursday night event is going to be at a theater.
Cool.
And we're going to show 2 movies, and we're going to have previews too.
Wow. Just like a regular movie theater. Like the old days.
Like a regular movie.
Science fiction double feature. I love it. Okay. So that's Thursday night. And then what is the Geo-Nick Pickers mashup?
Well, there's actually an event that's going to get published.
Oh, okay.
There was a little bit of a delay in it, and registration is going to open up that morning, Friday morning, and there's going to be a Geo 101 class. There's going to be a GSAT class.
Oh, neat.
You'll be able to come in and pick up your registration packets and all of that stuff all throughout the day, and go get your lab caches and all that kind of stuff.
And
then the nighttime event, which is actually Tom's baby, I'll let him tell you about the nighttime event.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank right now.
That's okay. You keep drawing a blank. I'll bring up the GC. The GC is
bingo, and that'll be when we announce the Hall of Fame folks that are being inducted into the
TX
Hall of Fame. We have 4 inductees this year. I just got the path tags for those. as well. So it's going to be
cool.
kind of like just a giant meet and greet with
It is-
a bingo game.
It is kind of a mashup. It really is.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's Friday night.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Because
when we're still all friends.
Right.
we're still all friends, right? We should be able to be there. Susan and I will be driving down Friday, but we're leaving early enough. We're going to catch some counties on the way down because we're still working on our county challenge. Using cachetour.no. Let me tell you, that's a cool website. That's for another show. Somebody drink something quick. Anyway, but we'll be there for that meet and greet / mashup. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Looking forward to seeing everybody and your registration pickup. I mixed them together. Registration pack pickups will happen as well, and some bingo and some other cool stuff that night. So,
Well, and I guess I'll go ahead and make the announcement here since.
Oh, here we go.
On top of the coin that was minted that you ordered, we have actually minted a GC Mini as well that'll be available at the event.
Cool.
Seguin is known for pecans, and
they are
pecan. Well, we have minted a GC Mini of Signal sitting on top of the pecan, holding a nutcracker in his hand. So we'll have that available at the Friday night event.
That is awesome. Yeah, a GC Mini. Oh, those are cool. I love. In case somebody wants to see what a GC how its size is the GC Mini. So they're actually a pretty good size coin. This is a GC Mini.
Mm-hmm.
Here's like a regular size coin, I guess. So there's a GC Mini. They're pretty cool looking, pretty good size.
Oh yeah.
So I like it. That's really cool, D. So we'll do it this way. Here we go.
Always good to add more swag to the
Yeah, those are neat. I like the size of these. They're bigger than a path tag, so very cool. All right, moving on. So the next morning will be the actual mega. The Texas Challenge and Festival is the next morning. Very excited to be at this one again. It's going to be at the Seguin Coliseum.
Yes.
Cool. And definitely people need to register so they get an idea of how many people will be there. Obviously,
if you want to play, you have to register because we have to print scorecards. So if you want to play, you have to register and let us know that you're coming and that you want to play. It's free to register. You don't have to buy swag just to register, but let us know what team you want to get on. And then we send out rosters to all of the team captains and they'll contact you and kind of help you out if you need help or not. But you do have to register. Otherwise, you will not be able to play. You can still come to the event. You can still have fun, do all the lab catches. But if you want to play, you have to register.
Right. TXGA.net, or where would you prefer them to go to?
TXGA.net, and it's right there on the screen is register for a challenge under events, and you're good to go.
Since we're mentioning that, the in the chat room, so what is the cost?
TexasGeocaching.com.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's Texas Geocache.
Yeah, it's TexasGeocaching.com, not TXGA.net.
Oh, okay.
I thought I'd clarify since we also built our website.
Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, Jesse Peddle.
Whoops.
They built the website for that too. So.
It actually, I thought it redirected. If you go to
redirects, but
I think it redirects. But
so
anyway,
let's say that website one more time so everybody gets it right.
TexasGeocaching.com.
Okay. Now, if in the chat room they're asking about the cost for the mini, do you know the cost for the mini coin yet?
$7.
Okay. And information about hotels. Where do they go?
All our deals with the hotels have been closed. They closed on the 10th. So you just have to call around. But when you do, if you mention geocaching, they might be able to get you a deal. I know there was still some rooms available at the Holiday Inn. And if you talk to Roberto, he would hook you up. So there's
go. There's an exclusive right there. Talk to Roberto.
There you go.
Hey, no lie, me and my wife did an Airbnb. There are some Airbnbs that are right on the river in Seguin that are cheaper than the hotels, like $60 a night. So if you want to take that leap into like the VRBO Airbnb, it's worth going because we got a killer place.
You did.
For like $69 a night, and the owners are out of town in Brazil, so shenanigans are happening.
Party Charles Laura.
That's
Charles
right.
Calling shenanigans already. Yeah. I saw the photos for where Charles is staying, and Airbnb. That's also another great, or VRBO. We've done VRBO, but my sons love Airbnb. So,
or you just sleep in your car and you have more time for caching.
There you go. That's what Memphis would do without his wife, without
yes.
the CFO.
I'm not allowed to do that when she's around. She does not allow me to do that.
You would not.
I may sleep in the car. She's just not going to.
She'll
be inside in the hotel.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, my kind of woman.
There you go.
Right.
GC7, Jasmer Kayak 1 container. In case you're wondering what the GC code is for the Mega. Doesn't maybe ring as well as Nancy Boy Water Queen, but it's still there. 7JK1C. So definitely get your will attend on that. And so let's move on to the net. So again, even if you're not competing, you want to go in the morning, see all the people doing their little huddle stuff, and then if you don't want to compete, you can go geocache the area. Is there some geo art this year, D?
Yeah, there's geo art, and then there'll be lab caches. There's a big smiley face right above Seguin that you can do.
Oh, cool.
It's to the west. It's 100 puzzle caches.
Oh,
nice.
wow.
They're easy, though. They're easy.
Sweet, though. There you go. That's a good tip there.
Keith said that, not me.
Right. I'm looking forward to using this will probably be the first time I get to use the new Lab Cache app. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very cool to get to try that out. So definitely looking forward to using that. And so very cool. All the details are there for all those events. And then the next event, we're going to bring Charles on to discuss more of this event. What time is it's the 6th annual Texas County Challenge Finishers Reunion and Block Party. So it's a little different, I think, than that. So Charles, Pathfinder 33. I don't know what he's doing right now. What are you doing, Charles?
I'm pulling up the cache page.
That's okay.
Computer.
That's fine.
I have something to reference because you said what time, and I'm like, oh, the one thing that I didn't.
That's okay.
But I got it now. I'm ready to go.
Oh, good. So tell us a little bit about how it's the 6th annual. Tell us a little bit of how this whole. Start with the beginning. How did this whole thing kind of come about?
So the first one was in 2014. In Bastrop, and I had finished the Texas County Challenge, had met with Indigo Parish, had signed the ammo can, had done all of the cool stuff, and then that kind of was it. And right. I was like, wow, so all right, I'm done. Okay, good job. The next year, after I had met my wife, she had finished it, and I was like, well, all right, so
wait, I'm going to stop you here. Because you have to explain when you signed the can what happened. With Laura.
With Laura signing it.
That was our very first date.
Yes.
That was our very first date in Austin. I drove from East Texas, where I was living. She drove from Central Texas, off in the Brady area, out to meet me. We had a date that weekend, and I said, hey, so I know this is going to sound weird, but I got to go meet a guy on UT's campus at the Bell Tower to sign this book inside an ammo can.
Right. I remember that part. Yeah.
And so that kind of snowballed into some of this, but I had signed it and she was like, well, what is this all about? Can I do this? I want to do this too. And so I said, sure, you got to have a geocaching account. We signed her. She went home and signed up and whatnot and went and took her mom and found a couple of geocaches. And then she was like, well, I want to do this thing you did. And I said, all right, well, I just finished it. So I know exactly what I'm doing. We can go and do this. And so we would meet up somewhere and then take a weekend trip and go county hopping and whatnot. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So it kind of started there. She had made me a shirt off of custom ink that was, it just had an outline of the state of Texas on the back. We put a little 254 up in the northeast corner of it.
Right. That's the number of counties, in case people are wondering, for Texas.
And then put my name on the front of it. And I was like, so I'm going to have me a Texas County Challenge finisher shirt, you know? And it had my little number on it, number 57. And so I'd shown it to Dee and David, and David was like, I want one. I don't care what it takes. Get me one. Whatever. So me and David stayed up one night kind of shooting some images and ideas back and forth. And he was like, well, what if we did this with it? And what if we did that? And then I found a county overlay that the lady that I was having the shirts made with, she's like, yeah, we can do that. So I hosted the first event in Bastrop. I talked to like the 12 of the top 15 finishers.
Yeah.
And, hey, I want to host an event. Can we do this? Indigo Parish was like, sure, man, we can do that. No big deal. And talked to a bunch of the people and Vinyl Slider and kind of got this thing worked out to where, hey, we're going to host an event. Keith really liked it because that gave him an opportunity to get there with the can and the people who were in the queue to sign the log that were going to be there. We just made it hey, meet him over here at the side of the stage, sign the ammo can, sign the log sheet.
Oh, there we go. Tom's got his shirt, by the way.
Yeah, Tom's got his little shirt there.
Sorry, I muted you, Tom. You'll need to unmute yourself real quick. Sorry. He's trying. There you go. Okay, go ahead, Tom. Sorry, go ahead. And then we'll get back to Charles. Sorry. Electric Water Boy, you're number 67.
Because I wasn't 66.
Right.
Cheryl was the wife was 66, even though I started before her.
Crazy for cats. There's the back of it. That is cool. So keep going, Charles. So that's
I just want to say I'm 54, so I got y'all beat.
Good job.
I'm 50.
That's cheating. Y'all live in that state. That's all cheating. You live there.
So I talked to these guys and kind of got it all figured out for us to host an event. I hosted the first one. At the time that I hosted the first event in 2014, there were 60 finishers.
Right. Because this is right. Because there was no event. Like you said, there was no event for this other than yourself. So you might want to explain for folks, if you can get around to all 254 counties, and let me tell you, you don't do it without you don't just accidentally find all 254 counties in Texas.
Yeah,
you have to plan. You plan for this.
Yeah.
And you spend a lot of time on the road and you just enjoy the trip because it's going to take you a while. But anyway, so the way it was before and probably still today is, and Tom or Charles or Dee could probably explain, you finish 254. You can go sign a couple different challenge caches. Is that correct?
There are a couple that you qualify for just by completing the Texas County Challenge. So there's an area code challenge in Texas. There's a I've Been Everywhere challenge, which if you plan these right, like Paris, Texas, is on the list. And so there's a Paris, France and a Paris, Texas. So there's a couple of these challenges that if you do it right, you can do. If you go down to the bottom of Big Bend and all the way out to South Padre Island, go across the bridge to the actual island, you will complete the Texas DeLorme challenge at the same time you complete the Texas County challenge requirements.
Oh, see, now that's a good thought.
Otherwise, because you can get the 2 counties that are down in the Big Bend area, and I'm on a blank on what their names are, and the one that holds South Padre Island, because the south part of the island is in the same county as the mainland.
Right.
But the island is in its own DeLorme. So you have to go down to the bottom part of the Big Bend area, and you have to go out to the island at South Padre. And if you do that, you will more than likely you will have completed all of the requirements for the Texas DeLorme challenge, as well as the Texas County challenge. So there are a number of these that you complete all of the time, even without knowing that you did it.
Right.
There's an area code challenge cache is between Houston and Galveston.
That you could sign at some point. Right.
And then there are a bunch along the 410 loop in San Antonio that are 100 counties, 150 counties, 200 counties, 250 counties, right? So there are those challenge caches. They're in the greater San Antonio area on the south end of Loop 410. So if you're going to be in Seguin, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to get some of those. So there are other caches that you definitely qualify for just by finishing that.
Right. That's a cool thing to remember. And we've been talking lately, Memphis and I have been talking lately about challenge caches anyway. And so this is kind of if you're going to go to the trouble of doing 254, these are some other things you might want to think about also getting, because it's such a rare thing to actually, we have less than 3.
You're going to be in those areas anyway. Right. If you just skip through the corner of this county instead of going and getting a cache in Paris, then you kind of miss out on this I've been everywhere challenge. But if you do it right, you can qualify for multiple challenge caches while you are getting the requirements for the Texas County Challenge.
Right.
That being said, I hosted the first annual event for the Texas County Challenge. There were actually 3 events hosted before me. One of them was hosted by MTP in 2008. He had a 254 times 3. The first 5 finishers had already finished. They had a meeting, event, so that 6, 7, and 8 could all sign the logbook at the same time at this one event.
That was in 2008, right? Gotcha.
That was in 2008. In 2009, they had a 254 reunion and induction. And they had the next 8 finishers, they had all pulled in and let them all sign the logbook in order that next year. And then in 2010, they had a Texas County Challengers Gripe and Grin event.
Gripe and Grin. I love it.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, the 2009 and 2010 events were hosted by Alan Strickland, Texas Oil Gas, who was the first finisher of the Texas County Challenge.
Wow, incredible.
And then there were no events in 2011, 12, or 13. And then I started it in...
Right.
There weren't any events for finishers.
No events, right. But people finished. We had 8 finishers in 2011, 9 in 2012, and 12 in 2013.
Correct.
Now,
when you finished, so
tell people what they used to do.
So David, Alan used to rib David all the time about us. When are you going to finish? When are you going to finish? And David went with some friends of ours when they finished theirs, Ray and Nina, the O'Crazies, and they were excited to finish it. Well, Alan and I were friends, and so I called Alan up and said, "Okay, hey, listen, they finished," and I shot him their bookmark list. And the next day, we met at a Starbucks, and that used to be what it was. You met at a Starbucks, or you were at a Ruby's Barbecue, and you meet up with Alan, and you would sign it, and you would take pictures, and then that was it. It wasn't after that last event in 2010. You would just meet Alan somewhere, and he would drive anywhere to meet you to have you sign.
Incredible. Yeah, that's incredible that he would do that.
My biggest regret is we did not sign that can with Alan.
Yeah. And Alan passed away
2012, a month before challenge.
2012.
January of 2012.
Okay.
Side note, he passed away while caching the county challenge in Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tell the spooky part of it though.
The spooky part?
Yeah.
That there's
he was doing the cache series. I See Dead People.
Dead people. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
If you do that, OKC Gators have a series called I See Dead People, and if you do all their entire series, you'll get all of the counties in Oklahoma, and that's what he was working on. And they actually put out a cache in his honor where he was found.
Oh wow.
So, it's pretty cool. He was a great guy. Great guy.
That's neat. So now, and then against from 2014 up until this year, obviously too, we'll have the first one was in 2014 and so forth. So Carrot Killer, Lady Black Cat are a couple patrons who also they came to Texas and they really went guns blazing and they finished it. They signed. I probably signed several county challenge caches, but they need to send a bookmark list to someone, or if you finish, what do you do?
Right, there's some rules and procedures for once you finish. You're required. This is one of the old challenge caches that doesn't have an official checker. There are checkers for this one. Any cache in the state counts, events count, because when they first started this, there were some counties that didn't have geocaches in them. And the only way you got credit for that county was to host an event somewhere in that county. And that's credit.
That's not true.
No,
Alan actually petitioned Groundspeak, and TXGA hosted a program called the Wide Open Spaces Program, where we as TXGA actually owned caches in counties that didn't have any caches, like Loving County. And so there are still, I think, 5 or 6 active caches that were part of that Wide Open Spaces program.
Oh, yeah.
As a collective TXGA take care of, because so you could actually place a cache in that program, and then TXGA would actually own it, so you could log it as a find.
Right, and there are several of those that were on my bookmark list. But you have to create a bookmark list. It has to be public. You have to submit it you have to write a note on the cache page that says, hey, I've completed all the requirements. My bookmark list is created. It is public. Keith, Indigo Parish, will go in and pull your bookmark list down, put it into GSAC, and run it to make sure that all of your counties, that all of your counties are there.
Right.
The second step to this is that or at least there used to be, there was when I finished and there was right after I finished, there's a verification process. So I get an email from Keith, and I got several of these after I finished, was, hey, you're out there in these remote areas of West Texas. Can you go and look at this cache and this cache and this cache, look at the logbook and see if XYZ signed it?
Right.
So I've driven out to some of these caches, and I found where people claim they have found that cache, and the logbook was in good shape, but their name wasn't on it. And so I'd take pictures of it, and I'd take pictures back to Keith, and I said, I can't find their name on it. However, if they wrote initials or if they were caching as part of a group and they put a group deal, I'm not, you'll have to, but the day they claim they found it, there's no name on it. So there is a verification process for this. It may still be going on. I don't live in Texas anymore, so I don't get asked to look at that stuff, but I have in the past. So
very cool. Yeah.
When I sent my bookmark list in for the first, let's just over 10,000 caches, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I kept up that said who I was with and any swag and stuff I traded and TBs and all that. So when I made my list, I wrote down in it who I was with.
That's cool. That's good.
That is too much work.
Well,
there's no way I'm doing any of that stuff.
So then you don't get the T-shirt.
Right.
I'll get it one day.
You have the bookmark list. You have to submit it. It goes through a verification process. Keith looks at it in GSAC to make sure that, yes, indeed, you do have 254 counties in Texas, because I had one county in like Tennessee when I submitted mine that was the same name as a county in Texas, but when I listed my caches, my finds by county, I picked the wrong county in Tennessee. And so he's like, hey, I in my bookmark list, but and so there's some back and forth there. And then he tells you, hey, I have 4 people in front of you. So right now, as long as these 4 people in front of you sign it the way they're going to, it looks like you'll be number this in the list.
Right.
And so you kind of have to wait and let the people in front of you sign the logbook before you can wait your turn in line to sign it in order of finishers who have submitted their bookmark list.
Right. Very cool.
Once you do all of that and you're on the list to sign it, then Keith will, work with you on trying to meet up somewhere. He likes to meet a lot of people in Austin up on top of the lookout that looks over the Pennybacker Bridge.
Uh-huh.
So if you go through the Texas County Challenge GC page, you'll see a bunch of these pictures of people with the Pennybacker Bridge behind them. There are a bunch of them at Rudy's Barbecue for some unknown reason.
Right. Right.
There are a bunch of them on the UT campus. I did mine in front of the clock tower there at the UT campus because my mom was a student at the University of Texas when that shooting happened. And had some bullets go through her English classroom window that she was sitting in when she was at the university going to school. So she was right. And so that was the one reason why I wanted to do it there.
Sure.
My mom had passed away earlier in the year. And so that was one of the things that I wanted to do, just kind of a fun little sentimental thing so that I'll always have something to remember her by outside of all of the obvious stuff.
So Owen from KC is there've been a lot of good comments in the chat room about where people are. Some people are at 60, some people are at 1. So I mentioned they have 253 to go. It's like, Owen from KC said he's got 60 of them, but he's wondering how many finishers and Carrot Killer put in there. He knows we were the last one so far. They're at 186. They were
they were 186, 187.
Right.
And so they're the last verified people who have posted a note on there saying that they were complete. Between their note that said they were complete and them signing it, nobody else has come in and left a note saying they're complete and their bookmark list is done. So right now we're at 187. I know some people who are done with it.
But they're waiting.
Who are done, and they are waiting. There was a big push there for a while to be to who was going to be number 100.
Right. Oh, sure. I bet 100 was a big number.
And so once we got to triple digits, then I know some people who are actually done with it, completed, have their bookmark list made, but haven't submitted their notes to the cache page. They are waiting to be number 254.
Oh, but
that'll be a race.
There's going to be a race. There's no there's no way to know for sure, but I guess it doesn't really matter. 200 is kind of a cool number. I mean,
so it's going to be some shenanigans involved in it. I started making shirts for this thing for the 2016 event. I mailed them all out the summer of 2015, and then again in the fall of 2015. And then at the event in 2016 was the first year that everybody had a shirt. So if you look at the group photos, the first 2 group photos that we took were, we're in it,
nothing.
Whatever the event shirt was for the Texas Challenge, people wearing the yellow chicken shirts. And I don't remember what the first, but just, regular random geocaching shirts. And now the group photo happens and everyone's in these cool matching shirts. They've got the GC code on the back for the Texas County Challenge. Anytime that people take pictures or are trying to complete the Texas County Challenge, and they post stuff to their social media. I've tried to get them to use the hashtag Texas County Challenge. So if you go to Instagram, if you go to Twitter and look at hashtag Texas County Challenge, you will see all of these shirts, people attempting to complete the challenge. It's a really cool thing, and I'm glad that I'm glad that there was so much want and desire for some of this. The year
absolutely.
And the second year that when I gave Dee and David their shirts, there were people in the crowd that said, "Look, I don't care if the shirt costs $25. I want 2 of them. Just make it happen. I don't care."
You got to finish it.
And when you think of how much time and effort and energy we put into it, we don't care how much that shirt costs.
Yeah.
You don't care.
You've earned that shirt by that point.
But you earn it. You can't buy one of those. I mean, that's the other thing is, and so what's interesting is I've actually been to a couple of the finisher events. Memphis and I have been to both of them. I think we both of them. But what's I'm gonna get Memphis to comment too on this because you can, and this is thing people to know, if when the event comes around, and I want to talk a little bit more about what we're doing this year at this event, is that you don't have to have been a finisher obviously you're a finisher, you'll be there, I assume.
Yeah.
You'll be there. But if you've not finished it, you can go to the event and you can watch. And that's the thing I loved, is seeing everybody in their shirt and taking pictures of people and just kind of, I don't know. From somebody on the outside currently who's looking forward to the day when he'll have the blue shirt and all that. It's still cool, right, Jesse?
It's very cool. And obviously I live in Colorado, so I have not made it that far through the Texas County Challenge yet.
You guys still got quite a few though. You and I have done a bunch of counties, but
I think I've done less than 20. I don't think I've done that many.
Well, that's a start, though.
I will get them eventually. Do what?
It's better than one.
That's right.
Yep.
It's more than one. I'll get some more this summer when I get down there for Geo Woodstock or whatever. But no, I'm nowhere close, right? And it's not one I'm actively working on now yet. But although if I can get a few weeks off work and get an RV and just travel around for about a month, maybe. No. It was a lot of fun just to watch and see people that have been working on it for a long time, and there's a lot of excitement, just to watch people get their shirts and to get up there and sign the Texas shaped board. It was a very cool event. I wish other states did it too. Obviously Texas has the most counties, but it's still hard in other states too. So I wish more states their state groups would get on board and kind of do this thing like y'all are doing down there. It's a very cool event to watch.
Yeah, and we've had some great people come in and finish it from out of state. Ladybug Kids, who is
that's what I was going to bring up.
Ladybug Kids lives in Anchorage, Alaska. He is also a great land reviewer, and he's also Geo Aware USA 2, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Geocache reviewer and a regular reviewer.
Wow.
He has finished it. There was a guy from the Washington State Geocachers Association, 2JJ. I hope it's literally TWO space JJ. So him and his wife have come down from the Seattle area and have finished. There are a couple more. I want to say, I don't know if Razorback Girl is from Arkansas, but I know she's finished it. There's a guy from Louisiana who was the first out-of-state finisher to finish it, and I'm drawing a blank on his name, and I'm scrolling through on my looking, and it's not jumping out at me. But
how many out-of-state people do you think? Just you don't have to give an exact figure, but how many do you think of out-of-state have finished it? Do you think, Charles or Tom or?
It's still in the single digits for out-of-state people. I know, or they have finished it, but haven't done the stuff to.
Right.
They haven't done the bookmark. They haven't submitted all their stuff. They haven't done, because I'm sure there have been plenty of people who are retired travelers who have gone through and finished it, Just never gone through the verification process to get to sign the log. And that's the other thing that I get is people are like, oh no, I've finished. I've submitted my bookmark list. I want a shirt. And I just, right now I'm working on a new vendor for a shirt. The last vendor that I had who produced all of the shirts that we have to date, this last year suddenly just decided that she didn't want to do the screen printing business anymore. And sold her building, sold all of her equipment, sold everything. And so when I contacted her, she's like, I sold everything a month ago. And I was like,
no.
So I've been trying to jump through hoops here lately. Dee has been a great help. We're trying to get shirts back on board for everybody who has finished in this last year so that we have shirts. Hopefully it'll be close. I don't know if we can get it by challenge, but if we can't, then I'll have shirts. We're going to try, but if we, I'll get it done, and then we'll do like we did the first year and mail out shirts to everybody who has finished. And then we'll have a new vendor who is a local Texas company that will be able to do it for us.
Cool.
But I've had people who've contacted me and I'm like, hey, that's great. What number are you? Oh, I haven't signed the logbook yet. Oh, well, hey, send me a message when you have so I know what number you are. And so it's kind of funny. People are like, but I want the shirt. And I'm like, but you haven't signed the logbook yet.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
So
we're protective of that challenge.
Yeah. Well, it's cool.
If you read the logs on that thing, nobody signs TFTC either.
Plus one.
Yeah, that plus one. That's the joke we keep out with the German.
Nobody has yet.
Not yet. Wait till Jesse gets down there. Memphis. Oh my God.
And even in the actual logbook, very few people just sign their name. They write a story, at least a paragraph. I know I did.
I have a whole page in that book, and the book is nothing great. It's, I say that people are gonna
That's a holy book, Charles.
It is a like 5-inch by 8-inch little leather bound. It's like somebody's old diary, right? It's leather bound. It's got a little loop around it, and so you unroll it and you scroll through these hallowed pages of and read some of the stories that people have done. And it's super cool to go back through and look at this and see what people wrote. And people wrote whole pages in this logbook, and they encourage you to continue to do that. Write a page, write a story in there's the log. And it's just a great atmosphere. It's a great traditional cache. It's a big ammo can. So I don't know if Memphis would like it as much as his magnetic nano.
No.
but it's very cool to see. It's very cool to be able to scroll through and look at what some of these people have written. Backwards Charlie from Austin. I got the opportunity to go and meet Team Chili Fries when they got to sign it, and we had a dinner with them. And I met Keith in Austin, picked up the ammo can from him, drove to the event where Team Chili Fries was going to sign it. We took pictures. They wrote in it. There are trackables that stay in the ammo can that you get to discover.
Oh, cool.
So some of these, the only time they ever get discovered is when new people find them, because their mission is to stay in the ammo can.
Wow.
So it's really cool, and it's a tight-knit group. And then it's fun at the finishers reunion because people who haven't finished will come up to you and talk to you about, hey, so how did you do some of this area? The Panhandle is kind of easy because they're nice, easy, square counties. But as you get down into like Central and South Texas, they're not so squarish.
No.
Southwest Texas sucks.
Yeah, it's tough to get them. Well, and this is a real shout out to Cache Tour. I've been using cachetour.no along with Project GC. So it's a combination of Project GC for me, Project GC and cachetour.no. And Susan and I did a run. We were missing really odd stuff up in the northeast corner of Texas. And so one Saturday we're like, let's go clear out that area, so we can kind of forget about that, and we can do a Lubbock trip. We got a trip planned for Lubbock, and you could take 380, and you could crank out about 14 counties on one highway, which doesn't always, like you said, this doesn't happen. As Dee will tell you, this doesn't happen. Normally, you're like, we got to go down some back road to find the right county, but we took a trip, and this is something I think that to let people know about. If you're in a state, go to all the counties in your state, because you will find, Colorado a little different. We've talked about Colorado a little bit before with Charles, because it's a real oddball, because there's some counties in Colorado that are tough to do because of where you got to go to get a cache.
Very remote. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Very remote, up in the mountains. Down here in the San Juans, there's a county that the only road running through it is a county. There's no state highway. There's no U.S. highway. There's no interstate, like in the entire county. And you have
Hinsdale County.
Yeah. You have to take a backcountry 2-lane full of potholes road through this county to get, to a cache in it. And it,
not during the wintertime either.
But that's experience. Yeah,
New
go ahead.
Mexico has one like that too. It's not potholed, but it's one in and one out.
Right.
New Mexico has one, and then Arizona has one, because we've completed both. That we have 7 that we've completed states, and New Mexico and Arizona are one of them. And we just got back from we went to Yuma, but we went via San Francisco, which doesn't surprise the geocacher at all. But we had the O'Crazies with us, which are our best friends, and they jotted down to get them that one New Mexico county, and then pop back up. So both those states it's like one way in and one way out, but there's no road. So that wasn't. We didn't have to fight.
Yeah, Arizona that has the OK Corral. That's what you got to zip off the interstate. It's right down there on the Mexican border. And you're just like, who planned this? And I did it on a motorcycle when I've completed Arizona's as well. And I did it on a motorcycle in a 4-day weekend. So it's,
But think of it, and as we're going to wrap this up, I want to talk about a couple of other things real quick here in a minute, but the experience of doing it, you get these great stories, and we could talk story after story of these crazy, like you said, the fun of doing it. And if people are like, oh my gosh, it's too much driving. It's like, well, if it's too much driving, you're right. It's not for you. It's for other people.
Yeah, but you get a beautiful map like this that my husband keeps track of.
There you go.
Counties, you can tell our trips.
Right. There they are. The little lines. Yes. Well, and so, all right, good. It's good. Well, thanks, Charles. Let's talk about a couple other things. So don't go away. Jesse, Memphis, did you have a question?
No, from the chat room a while back. What is the actual time frame that the lab caches will be available for people for planning purposes?
I believe lab caches go live Thursday, correct, Tom?
I was thinking it was Friday.
Friday. Okay, they go live Friday, and we always do the 10-day period where you can log them.
Okay. People were just trying to plan, so it was a while back in the chat room, so I want to make sure I got to it.
No, they'll go live, and you'll have plenty of time to get them. And the other thing I'll say is I'm pretty positive it's on the page, but if you are competing, you need to be there by 7 because competition starts at 8.
Yeah, and it starts at 8:00 sharp. There's no fooling around. And
at 8:01, you'll be standing there in a pile of dust.
Right. I've stood there at 8:01, not competing, going, where'd everybody go? They're all gone. They turned to Susan like, all right, let's go do our thing now or whatever. So, okay. So, the challenger, the finishers reunion, there's a block party involved this year, which is different. Is that correct? Than most years?
Yeah, so there's a brewery that the event will take place on, and they've actually shut down the whole street for us.
Oh, sweet.
Food trucks. There'll be all different kinds of games. They've got like the giant checkers and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Our South Texas rep is going to be out there doing magic.
Oh, neat.
So there'll be a lot of other stuff for you to do as far as you know, you can come and experience the reunion event, which is an amazing event to be there, even if you haven't finished.
Right.
But then you can grab a beer, grab something to eat, you know, dance in the streets if you want to. Heck, you can, you know, pretty much do whatever you want.
Right.
So a little something for everybody to do. So it'll be
Awesome.
fun.
Yeah, definitely don't miss Seguin. It's going to be great fun. Charles, you just something you want to say or no?
Yeah, the finishers reunion and block parties from 6 to 10 p.m. The night of the Texas Challenge.
Cool.
So that night after the challenge, 6 to 10, we'll get you the block party and the TCC finishers reunion event.
Perfect. We'll take a couple minutes. I know we're running late. I knew we'd go a little long on this show, but I want to take a couple minutes to allow. This is such a weird year, as Dee would tell you. But again, she's always busy doing stuff. But this may not happen again for a while. I don't know. Let's hope. Just Tom's thinking. When was the last time? Well, here's a question. Because the last time Geo Woodstock was in Texas,
it was the first mega.
It was the first mega, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So that was the last time we've had 2 megas in Texas. Is that correct?
Incorrect.
No?
No.
Okay. When was
Challenge and Geo Coin Fest?
in the one in Houston? It was in Houston,
Yes.
I think. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but it is it's a little bit unusual to have 2 megas, especially,
you know, possibly more. We won't say the word.
Possibly more. Yeah, we're not gonna say that word.
We won't say that word, but we are hoping that it'll be a little bit of both.
Yeah, I haven't looked today. Jesse, I think you went and looked, right? What are our Willetins for the megas?
For you mean the Gigawatch?
Geo Woodstock, yeah. Which we can say, they can't say that. But
that's right. That was Geocache talk, not anybody else.
Right.
Gigawatch is up to 1973 right now.
Oh wow, we have one more than we put down earlier tonight. So
yeah, it was 1971 before we started the show, and then another one added on. Now it's 1973.
Woo! We got 2 people. Just
Let
added.
me go ahead and say this: GC7, Nancy Boy, Western Queen, NBWQ.
Yeah.
Those Willetins, if you think you're going to come and hang out with us, we brought back the maze. You know, that's the one thing that we're super excited about. I met with the maze team on Saturday out in 32-degree weather while they assembled it to make sure that all the parts went how they had planned, and it was sturdy and it looks fabulous. We're working with HQ on all the panels. There's going to be lab caches within it. There's going to be gadget caches outside of it. So, I mean, this is going to be an excellent opportunity to get lots of icons. Icons I haven't been able to in a long time.
A lot of talk, a lot of discussion about, in case people are wondering, there is a webcam in Oklahoma. I was talking to my son who lives in Norman. We were talking about that before he was down for the weekend. He's headed back to Oklahoma. But we talked about that webcam. Susan and I found that webcam before. I think Jesse, you found that webcam.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, GPS Maze, we did a show. Go check one of our old shows about it. It's worth going to take in information. gpsmaze.us is the website. Go check that out because it's cool. Another cool website done by old Jesse Tuttle and his team. So we appreciate him doing that. Nancy Boy, Water Queen. I always say water. I don't know why. Western Queen is fine
on
too.
The stage, I said Water Queen. My husband is ex-Navy, and everybody got on my case for not knowing the Navy lingo. He was in the Navy, not myself. So I know Charles is ex-military as well. When I got up there, I was very nervous staring at all those people. I was excited, and that's what came out. So I even made some shirts for it that have it on the back. So I do want to say this, and I know Tom's
got a shirt.
Yes, he does. Jesse and I have talked about this, and we've talked about this on air. Volunteers are an important part of Woodstock, and now the maze. And if you want to volunteer to help either one of those out, the volunteer sign up has gone live. You go to geowoodstock.com and click volunteers. It'll take you to a page and you can fill out, pick the times you want to do, what area you want to do. Please, folks. I mean, when we added the maze, we added the need of 100 more volunteers. So you want to volunteer for the maze, you go to gpsmaze.us and fill out their volunteer, because it is a little bit separate from Geo Woodstock. But we are going to need, with us doing Midnight Madness at a completely different location.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of moving parts, and we're trying to juggle them all and keep them going. So we definitely need volunteers. So if you can give us a couple of hours, you're not only going to help out the community, but you'll probably get a little piece of shiny to say thank you. So please sign up and help us out. We really, really could use the help, because we have taken on a lot, but we're excited about it. It's going to be a great event.
Oh yeah, it is going to be great. And for people let people know, we are going to do another full show about Geo Woodstock, because there's so much to talk about. We're going to do that in April. What day do we do in that show? I need to go look real quick. Do you remember that one, D, off the top of your head? I can go find it.
I don't remember. I can try to look it up.
Hang on, I got it right here.
Okay.
So for people that are interested, who want to hear more about Geo Woodstock, April 7th, show 144, we're going to do a full preview of Geo Woodstock, all the events, everything that's going to be going on that weekend. April 7th, we're going to do a full show with Dee and Tom, talking about all the cool stuff that's going to happen. NASCAR and rodeo, and I know
I'm shocked of how many people have signed up to drive.
I know, Memphis. Did you sign up?
Want to put Tom on the wall. A lot of people want to put Tom on the wall.
Yep, Tom's going to the wall.
I know Jesse, Memphis Mafia, he's excited about. We got his whole family. You're all coming down this year.
Oh
right?
yeah, all of us are coming down.
That's so sweet.
And
rodeo and NASCAR, and we'll talk all about that in the future. So we're going to wrap up tonight, but I got to go back to the news because I missed some things. So we're going to the wrap up is going to include a couple items that we kind of missed because it's been a busy night. So one thing we won't talk about it this week. We don't have time to talk about it, but the whole thing came out with geocaching.com talking about some event that they're going to do coming soon, March 25th. We'll talk about more of that next week. But Memphis, you had an announcement you wanted to make. So let's
I'll save the other one for next week. But
okay.
For those of y'all that use Project GC very much, you kind of forget sometimes that all those checkers and stuff are built by people. But I had one this last week, and I asked them to build a checker for an old challenge. So, obviously all the new challenges take priority. And they were like, okay, I'll try to get to it when I can. It's for an old weird challenge in the area that I'm just too lazy to use GSAC for. Plus, I don't know how to use GSAC. So
that's another show.
So yeah, Woodstock for that, just so you know.
And I still won't use it after that. I'll be honest. If it's not on Project GC, I'm not using it. I'm stuck in my ways. I'm using Cachely. I'm not going to use a GPS. I do my things.
That's funny.
So I put in one anyway. I was like, hey, if y'all get a chance, can you put this at the bottom of the list, but can you build this checker for this weird little challenge? In fact, it's a challenge that the owner's not even around anymore. So, wow. But I signed it a long time ago, and it was a pain in the, it's like, find this on this day and find this on this date, and then 3 of them this day. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But so it was Grahams is the one that built it. And I don't know if that's his actual caching name or just the name he goes by for the checkers, but he built it, and he's like, okay, I got to this. I got bored, so I wanted to practice my Lua again, so I built it. And it worked. So I got to go finally claim this challenge. And then he came back and goes, you know what? I got back on and played with it some more and made the output look even neater, which is only going to be like 30 people ever use this thing ever, right? But he did it like super fast too. Like I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be weeks because at the bottom. So I just want to give a shout out to them and people that don't know. That's how those checkers get there is people volunteer. They do that. And Grahams is the one that made this one. But those guys that do that, they're like reviewers. They really help the game out a whole lot when they're doing it. So just want to give a quick shout out for that on the Project GC guys. So
they use Lua, so they're like probably good Where I Go people too, right?
they could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you use Lua for Where I Go?
You can. Yeah.
You can. Yeah. All right. Quick word from anyone before I wrap this up. Does somebody want to anybody have a final thought?
Come to Texas Challenge. Even if you don't compete, you can compete. Even we've got a couple from North Texas that's in their late 60s. They come, they have fun. That's what it's all about. Come visit us, log your will attends, register if you're going to play. And GC7, Nancy Boy, Western Queen, come to Woodstock, come play with us. GC7, NBWQ. Log those will attends. And if you're going to come down and see us and help us, change that icon. And but
we're not too far away. Yeah, if we just had a concerted effort, we could get that icon switched probably.
And regardless, and we've said this, the Crazy Eights have said this all along, come to the event because you're going to have an amazing time, from concerts to activity challenges among the podcaster teams, all of that. Come out, you're going to have a great time. You can ride a mechanical bull, you can climb a rock wall, you can eat some barbecue.
You can put Tom into a wall in NASCAR. You can do all kinds of stuff.
Only if you can catch me.
That's awesome.
So, you can see rodeo. You can see Signal compete in a rodeo. I mean, come on. You're not going to do that anywhere else. So,
that's going to be awesome.
Don't just come down to see us. We're gonna have an amazing event, but we need those will attend. So please log them if you're going to come.
Yeah, we need those, and tell your friends that are interested or planning on going. They got to make sure, and that's the other thing. Make sure all your friends have done, if they're going to, the drill. But I've asked some of my friends, they're like, "Yeah, I'm going." I'm like, "Okay, you did do your will attend, right?" Go, I don't know. You've got to go do your will attend. It's like.
That's a killer. You have to do that. They have to have some idea of who's going to be there.
Right. As somebody who did 14
every event I post, I say, okay, before we get this party started, everybody pull out your phone and open up whatever app you use.
Right.
Type in GC. Have you logged your will attend? Okay, now we start the event. So everybody starts signing. All my ambassadors out there, that's how you start your events now.
Absolutely. Have you done your will attend?
Log that will attend.
Because I'm amazed at some people who, we're going. Okay, you put a will attend or, you got to do that so they can plan and all that.
Geocaching event etiquette. We're gonna have to do a show on that one because
we need to.
Love it.
We need to. All right. Memphis, final thought, because we need to wrap up tonight. We're going long.
Yeah, well, we knew we would. We have lots of stuff.
We do.
Jesse coming on, and him and his team are. There's a lot of things that people are going to get to see, updates to websites and some geocache talk gear and all kinds of stuff that's going to be coming up. But we don't have time to get into all that tonight, right? But and then this Texas Challenge, I've got to go down there twice for this. A lot of fun. I won't get to go this year, but. It'll be hard for me to get down there twice that fast in a row, right? If
but coming to Woodstock,
so many megas in a row, I could probably get to more of them. But
megas every week in Texas, I tell you.
But either one that you can get to, if you're going to be anywhere near Texas, get down there for these events. The Texas Challenge is awesome. Geo Woodstock's going to be awesome. The Maze is going to be cool, and you just knock out a couple more counties while you're down there. So,
absolutely, yeah, county, And we'll do more county challenges, Charles. We'll talk about that a little bit more. We'll talk to Super Nate's going to be on the show in a few weeks. Talk about Project GC, but I'm sure it's going to come up because he's a county he's a county hound, and I definitely want to revisit other states' counties because I think it's fascinating to hear. Colorado's a fascinating one, but I'd like to hear about some of the other ones. I know Charles did this is the funny thing. You did a run. We call it a county run, but you were just traveling up you went up to Washington, right?
Yeah, to see my mother-in-law moved up there from San Antonio this last year.
Right. But the way we see it now, it's like, hey, it's a chance for a county run, right?
Absolutely. Everything's a chance for a county run.
Every trip's a county run now. Anyway, well, good. Well, thank everybody so much. This is a lot of fun tonight. We did go long, but that's okay. Like Jesse said, we know this one was going to be a long show, which is great. Thank you, Tuttle, and your team for becoming on as a sponsor. We're really excited to have them on board, and we just looking forward to all these events, and it's just you guys have been great for us, and we want to do everything we can because people need to come down and do these events because they're so much fun. Let us know if you've never been, if you have any trepidations at all about coming to either of these megas. Let us know. We will set we'll ease, because some people are like, events, I don't know. Just send an email to geocachetalk@gmail.com. Let us talk you into it. That if you're still kind of on the fence, we'll pull you off the fence and get you into this. So we're going to help you out. Geocache Talk. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is facebook.com/Geocache Talk. You can find the show on really any podcasting app that's available. Go check out the Geocache Talk website. You'll see some cool stuff, and we're always updating that. Geocachetalk.com. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button below in one of these corners that I'm pointing to. One of these points, the other. Make sure you ring the bell, because that'll give you a notification of when we're on. Typically, we're always on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Hey, you never know. Once in a while,
but there's other random shows too.
Yeah, we did a pop-up show a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago, I guess, and that was kind of fun to do. So you never know. You need to have that notification just in case. So
when some brand new breaking news comes out, we can't wait till Sunday. We can't.
We're just gonna pop on and do a show, because that's what we do. Tell your friends about the show. Get them involved. The chat room nowadays goes 90 miles an hour, which is fabulous. We love the chat room, folks. I'm glad they keep up with it. Memphis is trying his best to keep up and ask your questions and just be involved in the show. So again, we thank you for all that. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching. You need to mark your Willetins for the Texas Challenge and for Geo Woodstock and for all the other things we mentioned. Go check out the show notes, find all those events, and mark your Willetins, because they need to know that you're coming so they can plan accordingly. And then after all that, go geocaching. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night,
everybody.
At all.